crossword to get into the treehouse.
Left boob.
Left boob.
Which model car did I put in the microwave?
Lime green Cougar Villager.
A lime green Cougar Villager.
If you told anyone.
Sue ate all the pies.
Sue ate all the pies.
And you said you'd rip out my 3 glue them to the middle of my massive
And
span.
super glue them to the middle of my massive span.
People always wonder about going to their own people. Seeing who turns up, who cries, who doesn't. Anyway, since I'm so paying you back, it must be this must be my unfinished business.
No pressure then. Jamie was worried that he'd made no impact on the world. He'd only lived in one house. He'd only ever done one job. He never tweeted. He didn't even have a Facebook page. But the thing is, we can't all have political movements or sports centres or handbags named after us, can we? Even if we do, it'll all fade away eventually. It's hard to believe, but one day someone will play My Way for the very last time, and the name Frank Sinatra will never be uttered again. Mount Rushmore will crumble. Victoria Station will become Hoverboard Docking Station number 36B. Or whatever. So, really, we should all just get over ourselves. And anyway, Jamie, yeah, you may not have made a massive impact on the world, but, well, you've expanded my vocabulary.
Is he here?
No, he's gone. Dunno. Wherever they go eventually.
Thank God for that. I mean, obviously I'm sad that he's gone, but God, it was really creeping me out the thought of him just watching like some kind of peeping Tom.
No, he's gone. But there is an elderly Victorian woman standing just behind you, and a little boy with one arm. I've asked them to keep an eye on you.
What?
See ya.
Hello.
Phil? I'm a friend of Joe's. I've been meaning to get in touch with you. She just wanted to say she doesn't want you to feel guilty about what happened. There's nothing more you could have done. Joe? Joe? You here? Alone again. Except that is for the crowd of dead people forming outside my door. But I'm not going to run away. I'm going to listen to their whinging, and I'm going to try and help the bastards. What are you still doing here?
I think my unfinished business is still unfinished. I think it might be unfinished for about another 60 years if she looks after herself.
Right. I see.
So I thought maybe I could give you a hand with this one in the meantime, if you're interested.
I'm interested.
Great. Would you do the honours?
No.
All right. Who's next? You in the bottom. You're up.
In Romance is Dead, Lauren was played by Alexandra Roach and Jamie by Kieran Hodgson. Tim, Joseph Arkley. Joe, Karen Barkey. Celia, Elizabeth Bennett. And Reginald by Dennis Hurdman. Romance is Dead was written by Ben Lewis and was a BBC Scotland production directed by Kirsty Williams.
And there's another drama about Lauren and Jamie tomorrow. Romance is Dead, last date.
BBC News at 3 o'clock. The British academic Martyn has been released from prison on the United Arab Emirates. Days after exchange of life was fired. The PhD student is claimed to have received received presidential pardon. A family spokesman said he'd now been taken to the British Embassy. The Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, said he'd never seen any evidence against Mr. Hedges, but described his release as a very important gesture. The Ukrainian Parliament, the UN Security Council and NATO ambassadors have all been convened for emergency meetings today following Russia's seizure of 3 Ukrainian Navy vessels in the Kerch Strait. Kiev says 23 Ukrainian crew members were captured in waters between Russia and Crimea, Ukrainian territory annexed by Russia 4 years ago. Ukraine said Moscow should face sanctions. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said the Ukrainian vessels had acted dangerously.
It was definitely a provocation. Key provisions of international law have been violated, not only maritime law, but also general international law, including the UN Charter and other legal documents, which repeatedly call for all countries to respect the sovereignty of other states.
Theresa May is preparing to warn MPs that rejecting her Brexit deal agreed with the EU yesterday would only lead to further division and uncertainty. Jeremy Corbyn has said Labour will oppose the deal, describing it as the worst of all worlds. Swansea University has suspended its Vice-Chancellor, Professor Richard B. Davis, and 3 other members of staff, while an internal investigation is carried out. In an email seen by BBC Wales, staff were told the investigation didn't concern the university's academic or financial performance. The Labour MP accused of lying to avoid a speeding charge is facing a retrial after jurors failed to reach a verdict. Fiona Onasanya, who's the MP for Peterborough, allegedly colluded with her brother to escape prosecution in July last year. She denies the charge of perverting the course of justice. BBC News.
This is Radio 4. In half an hour, the food and medicine debate. Sheila Dillon and a group of diet and medical experts continue the discussion on how the medical profession can focus more on food as part of a healthy way of life at 3:30. Now, Francine Stock, Phil Wang and Paul Mayhew Archer are the guests of Nigel Rees in Quote Unquote.
Together let us explore the stars. I care it not for what they say, but I will defend with my life their right to say it. Beethoven.
Wonderful. I imagine we're going to find that this is full of quotations.
Quote Unquote, the quotations programme devised and introduced by Nigel Rees.
Hello again. Here is something prophetic written by the sage of Baltimore, H.L. Mencken.
As democracy is perfected, the office of president represents more and more closely the inner soul of the people. We move towards a lofty ideal. On some great and glorious day, the plain folks of the land will reach their heart's desire at last, and the White House will be adorned by a downright moron.
Written by H.L. Mencken in 1922 and was last quoted on this programme in 2005 when George W. Bush was president. Gracing us with her voice this week is our reader Sally Grace, and gracing us with their presence on the panel we have once more Phil Wang, who was born in Stoke-on-Trent, but I now find left it for Malaysia when he was only 1 week old. He quickly made up his mind that he wanted to become a comedian and has performed in international comedy venues all the way from Melbourne to Montreal, but not Stoke-on-Trent. Film programmes. Francine Stock was born, on the other hand, in Devon, but spent her early years in Edinburgh and Australia. She is also 2 Then we have Paul Mayhew Archer, an awarded man of comedy writing, producing, performing, whose early work are not known to me. Welcome all. In round 1, I'm going to ask you, what did they really say on some famous occasions? I will give you a choice of 3 possible quotations. Phil Wang, what did Talleyrand, the French statesman, say in 1821 when the breaking news was that Napoleon had died in exile?
move.
Or was it 2?
It's not an event, it's a news item.
Or 3?
It is even less important than whether it is raining in Patagonia.
Could I have the question again? What was the man's name? I didn't catch that.
Talleyrand.